You're watching Tackle Talk Live, now into our 6th season as your #1 resource for bass tournament information, with a primary focus on both Toledo Bend and Sam Rayburn. Your hosts, Iowa Pro Staffer Steve Graff and Territory Manager for Sportco Marketing, Kevin Jean. Two guys with years of successful tournament experience on all levels. Guys who understand the importance of good information. Anglers willing to share their knowledge to help you become a better angler. So pay close attention as these guys give you more insight on how, when, and where to catch winning stringers. Here are your hosts of Tackle Talk Live, Steve Graff and Kevin Jean.
Welcome to another edition of Tackle Talk Live. Today, May 20th of 2025, I'm Iowa Pro Staffer Steve Graff, along with Territory Manager for Sportco Marketing, Kevin Jean, down there in South Louisiana. And Kevin, today, we're not having the winner of the Sealy, but we got a guy that racked up this weekend on cash and checks.
Yeah, Steve, Casey Burleigh. We came away with 8 checks this weekend in 3 days. It's a hell of a weekend. Him and Hayden Heck both. I don't know how many Hayden ended up with, but it was a lot as well. But yeah, Casey was probably the most consistent with weight, overall weight. I know one day he had his best 5 was well over 30 pounds. Had a lot of 10s weighed, Steve. I think we had
4,
yeah.
4 over 10.
10s weighed. So man, hats off to those guys. They caught them. It was up at, well, I say that it was up and down. Wind played a role. Wind was blowing.
Yeah.
Weather played a little bit of a role there, and kind of, really limited the areas they could fish. And with that many boats on Toledo limiting the area you can fish, that makes it tough. So, but hats off to all those guys, those top 4, top 5. Shout out to Betsy Merritt. Caught the 9-pound 903, I think it was, win the women's side. She's married Travis Merritt, guy I fished with a pretty good bit. So
yeah, she's the better half. She's the better half of her and Travis.
Way better half. But hats off to Celia. I heard it was a great event. Everything went smooth. Everything went great. So.
Yep. And good friend of ours. He got DQ'd on day 1. Had a good fish. Had a 6-pounder. Cole Garrett. He and this is something. And of course, I'm not making fun of Cole because we talked, but I didn't know this either. On your throw cushion, it has to be square. It can't be just any throw cushion. It's got to be square. And he got disqualified because he didn't have the proper throw cushion.
I didn't know that, Steve.
Well, I didn't either. That's what I mean. There's rules that, and this is the second time this year in a Sealy event that, now he kept on fishing. He ended up doing good. He made some money. He finished. He had some other fish during the tournament. He cashed some checks, so he did good. But he was very frustrated when he called me. He said it cost me some money, not having the right throw cushion. Had to go buy one. But anyway,
Wow.
but yeah, and Casey, of course, I gave him a little nickname today. Casey 8 Checks Burleigh is his name. It was either that or Sweet Cheeks, and I thought 8 Checks was better. So
stick with 8 checks.
Yeah, we'll go with 8 checks. But anyway, we'll have Casey on here in just a few minutes to visit with him and see what his strategy. That's another thing, Kevin. We don't really talk about it much in the city, but there's a lot of strategy that goes in to that event that you would never, the average fisherman that don't know, they just think it's a big bass tournament. You just go weigh your big fish in. No, there's a lot to that hourly paybacks as to how you play the game. It's a game you play.
No, it is, Stephen. There's some chance to that as well. But no, some hours pay differently. Some of the t-shirt hours, pay a little bit more money. So if you got one you think you can win with, make sure you get in on that hour. But and Casey's, one thing I want to really pick his brain about is, you've got 2 or 3 in the box at one time that you can weigh. So it's, all right, what hour do I weigh which fish?
Yeah.
So that's when it really becomes something to juggle.
Yep. And also, Kev, summertime is here. Temperatures are in the 90s pretty much every day. I think we get a little reprieve this next week. I've got to go to Lake of the Pines for an ABA event. And I think it's in the upper 80s, maybe low 90s. So not quite mid to upper 90s yet, but still it's hot. And all the tournament trails are winding down. Some of them have one tournament left on the regular season. And of course, we'll come back in September when the championships start to take place. But there's a couple of championships taking place over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, there is, Steve. So that's what we was talking before we came up. So not this weekend, but next weekend is the Outlaw Team Series Championship on Sam Rayburn. The very next weekend is the Texas Team Trail Championship on Sam Rayburn. So there's a lot of money up for grabs coming up on Sam Rayburn in the next couple of weeks. So I'm sure it's going to be, there's not a lot tournament wise going on this weekend, but I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of people practicing on Sam Rayburn.
Yep, that's exactly right. Also, and as I've just said, it's getting hot. Summer days are here, and we'll talk a little bit about at the end of the show. I got a little tip: the importance of fish care. Touched on it a little bit last week. We'll touch on it even more today. So, but anyhow, and we'll also preview this week's ABA. The only thing I know that I can see going on is the ABA Texas Pro League on Lake of the Pines. And hey, I'm calling out all you BFL guys, all you Fishers of Men guys, looking to fish a great circuit, a great tournament trail, low entry fee. Check out the ABA Texas Pro League on Lake of the Pines. It's this coming Saturday. So no really an official practice time. You can practice all week, whatever. And, but hey, this would be a great tournament. If you've been interested in ABA, especially the Texas Pro League or the Solo 150, which is coming up in a couple of weeks, I think 3 weeks, we go to Palestine. And I've heard some guys saying they're going to Palestine that's never fished the Solo 150 just to check it out. And so Palestine's a great place just to go fishing. But if you're looking for something to do this weekend, check out the ABA Pro League on Lake of the Pines. You just go to ABA website. You can register online, and or you can call the office and register either way. But love to have you. Chris Wayan does a great job with this circuit. Does a tremendous tournament trail director. Does a wonderful job. And so looking forward to seeing some of you BFL guys and Fishers of Men guys at that event. All right. All right, we're going to take a quick break, recognize a few of our sponsors. When we return, we'll visit with Casey Burleigh. You're watching Tackle Talk Live. We'll be right back.
A good marine dealer is hard to find, but a great dealer is even harder. But in Iowa, Louisiana, there's a marine dealer that falls into the great category. Power Implements Marine, South Louisiana's go-to dealer for all things related to the boating industry. A Minn Kota, Garmin, and Mercury dealer, guaranteeing you first-rate service in both sales and repair. A great selection of new and used boats to choose from, including Skeeter, G3, Ranger, Camus, and Go Devil. A knowledgeable staff that will treat you like family and are always willing to go the extra mile to ensure you walk out a happy customer. To see everything they have to offer, go to powerimplements.com or stop by 606 East Miller Street in Iowa, Louisiana. Plus, mention Tackle Talk Live and save $500 off a new or pre-owned boat or $50 off your first service ticket. Toledo Health is a full-service primary and acute care clinic. Nurse practitioners Jarrett Rule and Melissa Vines bring quality health care that's needed and convenient to the area. Nothing is worse than being sick on your family or fishing getaway. Whether it's a stomach virus or a hook in the hand, Toledo Healthcare will try and meet all your health care needs. Appointments available and walk-ins are always welcome. So the next time you're feeling down at Toledo Bend, stop by Toledo Healthcare, located on Highway 6 just south of Toledo Town, or call 318-508-5323. Very few stores are a complete one-stop shop, but Cypress Knee Outdoors is such a place. A store within a store. Cypress Knee is located inside 3J's four-way. Whether you need gas, food, drinks, or bait and tackle, they have it. Cypress Knee Outdoors carries top-name fishing brands like Strike King, Sandtone, Spro, and V&M. Crappie jigs from Bobby Garland. Need hunting gear? They have it. Ammunition from rifle to shotgun shells. Deer scents from Buck Wild and Doe and Heat. Deer stands from Titan and feeders from T-Hanger. Cypress Knee has it all. Located off I-49, exit 127, just south of Natchitoches, Louisiana. So stop by Cypress Knee Outdoors and let John Abram and his staff show you everything they have to offer. Or give them a call at 318-238-HUNT.
You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Welcome back to Tackle Talk Live. We want to appreciate and say thank you for tuning us in today. This segment presented by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, the Lakes Insurance of Nacogdoches, Toledo Health Clinic, Cypress Knee Outdoors, Toledo Bend Bass Series, Shimano and Power Implements Marine, located right there in Iowa, Louisiana. Kevin, if you say, hey, I watch Tackle Talk Live, what happens?
$500 off to a purchase of any new or used boat, Steve, or you get $50 off your service ticket.
There you go. All you got to do is say, hey, I watch Tackle Talk Live. All right. On the Tackle Talk Live hotline, we've got the Sealy champ. No, I'm sorry. Sealy big money winner, Casey 8 Checks Burleigh. And Casey, just want to say welcome to the program. Glad to have you, and looking forward to hearing all your little secrets. And the one thing I want to start off with: how long have you been fishing, Sealy? How many have you fished over the years?
I think this was probably my third one.
Oh, really? I figured there's more than that.
Yes, sir. Oh, I fished them early on in my fishing career, so to speak. Didn't do too good. I realized in the big bass splash, you don't have secret spots.
Yeah.
So,
No.
Yeah.
I learned that real quick off the bat and stopped fishing them for a while. And I just picked up about 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Casey, 8 checks, 3 on Friday, 3 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, total winnings of $10,500. That's a great weekend, man. That's a great weekend for the sea, to fish the Sealy. Low entry fee to win 10 grand like that. I mean, look, that's unheard of. That doesn't happen a whole lot for the Sealy. Man, let's talk a little bit before the Sealy's coming up. I know you're a Rayburn guy down there for South Texas. Have you been coming over to Toledo? Or is this something, before the tournament you was looking forward to?
So people may not know, but I used to cut my teeth on Toledo Bend. That's where I started off fishing. In 2014, I fished that lake hard until 2017. Then my uncle, Michael LaFleur, he's like, dude, all the money is on Rayburn. That's where all the tournaments are at. So I dropped everything on Toledo and focused on Rayburn in 2017 and never really looked back on Toledo because all the tournaments stopped going.
Mm-hmm.
Then one of my good buddies, Cameron Roan, he was like, dude, Toledo's way better than Rayburn. So I started dabbling about 2 years ago back onto Toledo and started finding like this lake's way better. Why ain't more tournaments coming to this lake? And so that Texas Team Trail Championship last year went to that lake, Toledo. So I put a lot of time in and effort on that lake last year and opened my eyes to a lot of things. And we ended up getting 4th place in the Texas Team Trail, and I was really looking forward to the next big bass splash, which was this one the following year.
And during that time period you just talked about, there was a lull in there where Toledo was really fishing tough. It had gotten super tough. Everybody was questioning what's wrong with the lake, what's going on, where's no grass. I mean, everybody was just complaining. So a lot of things shifted over to Rayburn, which I think gave Toledo time to recover.
I agree. I could totally agree with that. I think that 2016, after Kevin Van Dam won that Elite Series event, 2017 and 18 was pretty tough.
Yeah.
And I want to say it was like 2019 or 2020. Everybody knows his name. Cody Pitt was putting on a clinic of how many 10-pounders he was catching.
Yeah.
And it kind of opened the eyes up like, oh, my God, it's Toledo back. And sure enough, I think people realize how good Toledo Bend is. And the lake record was caught, 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago. But
the new one. So
now, look, between 14 and 16, or maybe 13 and 16, Toledo was stupid.
Yes.
That was when it was ranked number 1 in the country.
Yes.
And it was just stupid. Now, I think that had a lot to do with it. And we had some.
That's when you were catching the big stringers, Kevin.
What's up?
That's when you were catching your big stringers over there.
That's when I had a little run. Daryl and I had a little run there for a couple years when it was just stupid, man. Anybody could go there and catch them. You could go catch them doing whatever you wanted to do. And and that's back when I was able to fish when baby girl wasn't too old. But Casey, it is. Toledo's coming back. The last 2 years has been really, really good, and it's only getting better. How much have you spent time on Toledo this year coming up to the Sealy? Have you been over there the last couple of weekends?
I did. So I didn't really, I'll say, practice. So like I practiced last year for the Texas Team Trail event.
Right.
The one thing, like I said, I cut my teeth on that lake. One thing that I really learned, Toledo likes to repeat itself every year. I don't feel like it's a cycle lake in my opinion, like Rayburn is.
Yeah.
I think Toledo pretty consistent on spot. If you find a good spot like that, them fish reuse it.
Yeah.
So when I found about 6 or 7 spots last year for that Texas Team Trail event, and knowing that, I really didn't really practice for the Sealy. We did fish some tournaments, and I mean, I've been texting Cole Stewart a lot. We talk a lot, and I was like, dude, anytime these bass are going to get offshore, because I think the first tournament we fished was the Trey Buford tournament. That was a tough event. I think we had a cold front blow in.
Mm-hmm.
We had me and Cameron had 18 pounds, and I'm fishing the same stuff.
Yeah.
Then we fished a little benefit tournament for a little girl. Well, sadly, we didn't get the weigh in because we didn't read the rules too good. It was 3:30 and not 4, but we had 24 pounds roughly that day, and I was like, dude, it's about to be lights out on big bass if everything goes right. They started pulling on the lake. They had 11 gates at 1 foot generating. It was 20,000 cubic feet a second, and I was texting people like, this could line up perfect.
Yeah.
A lot of fresh water came in the lake. Yes, I would agree.
Yep.
And, well, Casey, one of the things I want to ask you, because I've never fished one of the Sealy's, but I've talked to enough guys like yourself that have fished it a lot. There's some strategy that goes in, and I'm looking at the first 2 days here. You weighed 3 fish each day of the first 2 days and cashed checks on each of those first 2 days. And I noticed your time slots were all back to back to back, like 10 to 11, 11 to 12, and 12 to 1.
Yep.
So that being said, obviously you had 3 fish when you came into the weigh-in at 10 o'clock that you knew you could probably get a check with, right? And then how do you play that strategy? You sit in your boat, and I know they're calling out numbers while you're sitting in your boat, right?
Yeah. So my little deal is you can have 3 fish in your live well. So strategically, I have till 11 o'clock to get 3 big ones in the boat. So day 1, I actually had some incidents happen, so I didn't get on the water till like 9:30ish on day 1. I had my fish by 10:30, and I should have maximized and tried to call that 570. But I went straight to weigh in, thinking, okay, let me go ahead and try to weigh these fish in and try to get back out there. Well, I spent the rest of the day there just trying to weigh my 3 fish.
Mm-hmm.
So there is strategy. It's good to have 3 fish, because when I weighed I forgot what the order I weighed in. I had my
you weighed the 6, then you weighed the 742, then you weighed the 570.
Yeah.
Correct. In that hour, somebody already had a bigger bass. I think that was T-shirt hour. So I was like, okay, I'll wait. No, it was not T-shirt hour. I do apologize. I weighed my 6-pounder first.
Yeah.
Then I was like, okay, I have my 740. I think I can win this hour before the T-shirt hour, because I'm thinking like, okay, if you go look at it now, no other 7-pounder caught a T-shirt hour. So I'm just going day 1. I'll weigh the 740, guarantee my first place. So I wait to the very last second to weigh in.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'll go and take my 2,500. Well, it turns out T-shirt hour took 651, and I was like, well, I blew $2,500 there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the money I won's a blessing, and I didn't even win a T-shirt hour. So
wow.
So it kind of hurts.
So Casey, let's go back to that morning. You had 3. You had a 5, 6, and 7. Obviously it's offshore. You're talking about you was cranking mostly. Did this go down? You said a while ago you had 6 or 7 spots that you found there to TTT that you've been rotating. Did these 3 Friday morning go down on 1 spot or multiple spots?
2 spots. So my first spot I pulled up, and there were 2. I made probably 10 casts. I caught, I don't know, I had probably like 23 pounds off the first spot. They're all 4.5 and 5-pounder. Like I think a 540 was my biggest at that time, and a 470 was my smallest. I was just calling them out. I was like, okay, at least I might have a 1 check or 2 out of these 3 fish. So somebody was pretty close to my second spot. They were just drift fishing, so I didn't even go to that one. Went to my third spot, or second spot to fish, but attempted my third spot. Nobody was even close to it. So I decided to pull up and made 2 casts, literally 2 casts, caught the 742 and the what'd I catch?
The 6?
What was that? What was that 6-pounder? The 6-pounder.
6.05.
Yeah. So I had the 570, off the first spot, and the other 2 came off the second spot.
Now wait a minute. You caught the
Yeah.
6 and the 7. Was that the only 2 casts you made on that spot?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, you had.
Well,
okay,
so I don't know
understand
if y'all
that. You
remember
can only
day
have 3 in
one.
the live well.
I got 3 in the live well, and I don't know if y'all remember. I was around like 10:30ish, and you have to be back there by like 11 o'clock to get the last 3 hours.
Yeah.
And it was really, really, really windy. I don't know if y'all remember this. Day one was I took 5 over the bow just getting to the weigh-in.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was trying to give myself enough time to assure that I can get all 3 bass weighed in.
Yeah.
And not mess up. Like
now I'm
glad. Day 3.
I'm glad you brought in, the running time. You have to factor that in to get back. Casey, I know a couple of guys that fish this. They fish them all the time, and they try to stick as close to the ramp as they possibly can. Is that your strategy as well? Do you try to find stuff?
Nope.
But nope, you don't care where it's at. It could
Nope.
be
I
on the north end of the lake.
I just know. I'm on the south end. I can get that out. I'm on the south end.
Yeah.
But my goal is, like I said, I try to catch all 3 by 11 o'clock away in the last 3 hours.
What is your
Unless
what
I
do you
just
what
catch
do you
a 10-pounder or something.
Yeah, what are you shooting for on your minimum on your third fish? Like your third one was 570, and you said you wanted to call it. Do you have a number in your head, 6-pounder or better? Is that the number you have in your head, or what?
Yeah. I was texting Riley Harris. They asked me how I'm doing. I said, dude, I'm very disappointed in my day one. I hate to say disappointed. I had a really blessed day. But I was like, dude, I need all 6-pounders. And I should have stayed and tried to call her. Because I think that was my second to last worst finish. I think that was a 10th place finish, I think, with the 570. No, it actually wasn't. That
No, you
570
had
actually was like
$800
10th
on the 570. The
That was-
605
yeah, I
only
forgot.
run 550.
That was 10th place. Yeah. I want a 6-pounder is what I was shooting for this tournament.
Yeah. Yeah.
But knowing how well it really was set up, day 3 I was trying to go for all 7s, but they really turned off on the crankbait.
Yeah.
And I adjusted too late in the day.
Do you find this tournament fishes better on day one, usually because it's just getting started? I know a lot of times the winning fish are caught on day one in that circuit.
So for me, Toledo Bend can fish perfect all 3 days. It's such a vast lake. It's so huge. You don't even feel like you're in the Big Bass Splash when you're on Toledo Bend because the lake's so huge. Like I said, I had 6 spots and I didn't run 2 of my spots. I had 3 spots where I could rotate where nobody was around me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I felt like I had an open chance to do good on 3 days. Now Rayburn's a different story. Yes, Rayburn's you can walk on boats at Rayburn. So yes, Rayburn is going to fish really, really good on day 1 on Friday.
Yeah.
And the last 2 days are going to be a grinder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you don't have no water to yourself. You're
Right.
on top of boats.
Makes sense.
Casey, let's talk about Saturday. Saturday you weighed in a 641, a 616, and then a 909.
Yes, sir.
Now let's kind of take me through the day because you weighed in the 641 at the 8 o'clock hour.
That or 9. It was early. It was super early.
8 and a 9.
So,
you weighed a 6 in the 8 o'clock hour, and then a 6 in the 9 o'clock hour. This is Steve's math, so if it's wrong, it's on him.
So, congratulations to the gentleman that beat me out on the t-shirt hour. Bless he. So, my goal there. So I had them fish on the first spot. I pulled up. I made probably 6 casts, and I had the 9 first, the 6, then the 6. I probably made 5 or 6 casts. Had them early, and I was like, dang, maybe I can get the weigh in and try to get that first t-shirt with this 9-pounder. Actually, I didn't think she was 9. I thought she was only 8.
Yeah.
So I was like, I might get that first t-shirt hour. So I tried training my strategy up, try to get to weigh in earlier so I'm able to go back to the fish in the afternoon. But congratulations to the gentleman that won that t-shirt hour. I think it was literally 5 minutes left. And I'm sitting there holding my fish, and I hear everybody say, get out of the way, he's coming. I turn around, he's got his bag 2-handed it, trying to run up there to get there, and he's like, it's a 10.5. It's a 10.5. I think he weighed like a 1042, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I held my fish, so I kind of hurt my strategy. I had to wait that whole extra hour up there.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's part of playing the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. If you're risking it, somebody catching a mega, a giant that hour because they're coming away it no matter what. But I want to talk a little bit more about that morning. So
Yep.
you caught the 9 and both 6s, boom, boom, boom.
Yes, sir.
Did you catch any more, or did you?
I left. I left immediately.
Probably what, 20 minutes catching 3, or was it literally 3 casts in a row?
No, I caught them 3 casts in a row, and I didn't catch anything the last 3 casts.
3 casts in a row, 6, 6, and a 9.
Yeah, so I made a 9, 6, 6, and I made 3 more casts. Didn't get bit, and nobody was around me, so I just put it up and said, "Hey, I could try to make that 8 to 9 hour," and I hauled butt.
Oh.
So correct me if I'm wrong. So you weighed the 641 at the 8 to 9 o'clock hour?
Yes.
I think so.
Finished 7th. Yes.
Then you weighed a 616 the 9 to 10 o'clock hour.
Finished 8. He's 8th in that one.
So did you go back? So you still got the 9 because you didn't weigh the 9 till 1 o'clock.
Yep. So on day 2, I went back, and there was people close to that spot when I finally got back over there. And so I kind of dabbled around in non-fishing areas. I just kind of went fishing, and I didn't get another bite. I think I caught 2 4-pounders, but nothing to have. Oh yeah, I had a 400. That's what it was. I had like a 400 in the live well. On my scale, it's 400.
Oh,
but I was not able to weigh it in.
Yeah.
So you could
either somebody already took it or no. I don't think no one took 400 on day 2.
Because that would give you another $5,000.
Well, if it's 4.0 on theirs too,
on
the
their
chances.
Scale,
yeah, I'm just saying if it would have been a 400, you get that's $5,000. So
right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because I'm a big fish like that, and I've fished the Sealy's a pretty good bit, and the holding a fish like that in your live well is nerve wracking. For me, it was.
Is it? So I was making sure I had fresh water and G juice the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
you run it back there and
all
open
I knew
that
was
lid.
good.
Every other cast, you're opening the lid and checking on her. And yeah, that was me.
Yep. I was standing back there while I was fishing and watching her, making sure she don't belly up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's the risk you take, Casey. I mean, that's but you won first that hour, so it did pay off.
Yes, it did. Luckily.
And Casey, just so people know, like, were these deep fish? Like, were you worried about them, turning up on you? Did you need to fizz any of them, or?
I don't fizz fish. I put fin weights on them.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not a fan of somebody just fizzing them because you can kill a fish easily doing that.
Right.
If you do it wrong. So I've made my errors in the past. I've killed 2 big fish before when I was younger. So I stopped doing it. I just use fin weights.
Yeah.
And get the equilibrium back and they're good to go.
Right. Right. Well, good deal.
All right, so let's talk Sunday. So let's talk Sunday here. Sunday you weighed in 2. You weighed in a 489 at 12 o'clock hour. Then you weighed at 880 in the 1 o'clock hour, the 1 to 2 o'clock hour, which was the last hour. Take us through Sunday morning. Did it get tougher on you because you didn't weigh in 3? And wow, that's hard to say. It got tougher on you because you didn't weigh in 3. But what was Sunday like?
Man, Sunday, I wish I could have Sunday back in a big way. Pull up to my first 2 spots where I've been really, really putting a hurting on them. I had the crankbait out, cranking it. I had 6 bites. I missed one between 8 or 9 pounds. She was big, but she had the back hooks. So that was telling me why all the other fish were pulling off.
Mm-hmm.
I think they all had. So go before this tournament. Thursday they quit. They closed all the gates on Thursday. So that actually had me worried for the tournament. The generation's about to go down.
Yeah.
It went from 20, I think, to like 10.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I got the maximum out of the crankbait really good on day 1 and 2. Day 3, they weren't eating it good, and I adjusted way too late. So I rotated all 6 spots that day, and I finally picked up a football jig and caught that 880 and 5 or a 489.
And then you started kicking yourself.
Yep, because I caught them at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I had one pull off on a Texas rig before, so before I caught that 880, pulled up to my spot, made my cast with my Texas rig, and just up one thump. And I couldn't find her. I was like, why don't I feel this fish? So I started reeling. She was coming to me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I set the hook, I didn't get all the slack out, and my line just started zinging. I was like, oh my God, this is huge, huge. Pulls off. I said, are you kidding me? After already missing 6 fish that morning, I reel it in. Texas rig's all messed up. Grab my football jig, fire it right back in there. Soon it hit the bottom, one thump. I made sure I felt her in that 880.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And caught the 5 like 3 casts later.
To catch the fish that you caught the 2 days prior on a crankbait, I mean, dude, it's hard to put that dude down, you know?
Yeah, that's I'm hard headed.
Well, I mean, I would have done the same thing again. You caught a 9 the day before and 2 6s, and I'd have been probably even more hard headed. So.
That'd have been hard to put down. Yeah, that'd been difficult.
Casey, do we want to, or are you willing to talk crankbait with us, or something you don't want to divulge?
Let's talk a little bit and see how well it goes.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, do we want to talk color? Do we want to talk depth? Something
like that?
We
can talk about. Okay, yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, just color you're throwing, how deep over, which version.
All right, so I got 6 spots, really, really good spots that these fish will school up on. Out of the 6 spots, 3 of them are brush piles, and the other 3 are shell beds.
Yeah.
They all range. I have 1 and 14 foot. I have my best producers this week were 18, 22, and 25. That's where they top out at. I threw 2 this weekend. I threw a 10X Strike King 10XD Chartreuse Powder Black Blue, and I threw the 500 DD by 6 cents Blue Truce. I think is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the 2 main. I do change out my hooks. I'm not a stock guy. I throw the short shank triple grips by Mustad. I throw the 2/0.
Yeah. So you upgrade in hooks and size wise too.
Yep. I threw 15-pound Seagar, cranking it, and making probably 50-yard cast.
Yeah.
On your Texas rig, the big worm. Well, I assume it was a big worm. What was you throwing on the one that you lost the fish on?
I was throwing the Old Monster Tequila Sunrise.
How about boy? That's an old faithful. Wow.
Yes, sir.
You don't hear many people throwing that much anymore.
Nope.
And it'll still catch fish.
It catches them. I just was stubborn on day 3 and didn't figure that out too soon. And I was throwing a V&M Moneymaker as a football jig, 3/4 ounce.
Yeah.
You was throwing the old school Moneymaker too, wasn't you?
Yes, sir. The old school. And I still got about 20 left of them.
I got about 30 or 40 of those skirts in my garage. I'm gonna sell to the highest bidder whenever all y'all run out.
No joke.
Because I got about 10 of y'all that only will throw that old school color skirt that is not made anymore. And like I said, I'm on when it probably next year or 2, I'm gonna send all y'all texts and like, hey, highest bidder gets these skirts. So.
Highest bidder gets them.
Casey, what you got coming up? You are you fishing Outlaw Team Series Championship, Texas Team Trail? What you got coming up?
I didn't qualify for Texas Team Trail. Unfortunately, my partner, unfortunately, good for him. He's going back to college. My fishing partner to be a nurse practitioner. So we didn't get to fish a lot this year, me and him. So we didn't qualify for TTT, but we are going to fish the OO Championship, Outlaw Outdoors, on Rayburn.
Okay.
So I think Friday I'm going to go see if I can't put one of them little YouTube videos together on Toledo.
Heck yeah, man.
See what happens.
Yeah.
See if we can't max it out.
On your personal page?
I don't know. I'm gonna get I don't have a GoPro, so I texted Riley Harris. I said, "Hey, you want to go make a YouTube video?" And he goes, "Possibly." He's practicing for the TTT. He goes, "I might squeeze out there we might go out there Friday to go see if we can go put a hurting on them."
So answer me this: why in the world did Riley Harris not fish?
He said he had to go to a wedding in New Braunfels. So
let me tell you
good
something.
for him.
Good for him. You're right.
Good for. That's what I thought. I said, hey, I'm glad you're not here because I get a chance to win some money.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. If I'd have caught what he caught the weekend before, the wife might be mad at me. All I can say.
That's what I told him too. I said, hey, I would take a butt chewing to go fish.
Well, and especially when it's a wedding, that's really a 1-day event, maybe 2-day, but you would think even one of those days he'd make plans to try it, especially maybe Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know where the wedding was at, but still. Whew.
Yeah, that's true.
He went to New Braunfels, so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way. That's a pretty good haul.
It's pretty funny. Cameron Roan couldn't fish it. Riley couldn't fish it, and one of my other buddies couldn't fish it. And I'm texting them as I'm catching them, and they said, "All right, y'all, you just stop texting me."
Yeah.
Did Tater Reynolds fish this?
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually he got a lot of checks.
He got several checks.
Okay.
There were several boys that got several checks.
Cole Moore.
I saw Tater a lot. I saw Hayden Heck a lot.
Hayden and Tater and yourself was the three that I saw the most.
Yeah.
I think Hayden had a lot of 5-pounders, like a lot of 5-pounders.
So
I think he weighed in a 7 and an 8.
Yeah, he had a bunch of 4s and 5s. I haven't talked to him, but I just looking at it, he had a bunch of those 4 and 5. He didn't really catch any big fish. Casey, last question here. Sunday, the last hour, you're sitting there. I think you got an 880, and Betsy Merritt comes walking up with a 9-pounder. I mean, I know you felt good for Betsy, but man, I know that hurt too.
Dude, I was sitting there just chit chatting. I'm thinking like 880, like I should get it. I mean, sitting there, I'm just talking to the guy to second place. I forgot his name. A real nice guy. He's like, man, I had an 826 with it. I'm sorry about that. I said, if that 10-pounder didn't get weighed in before me, I would have waited in that hour. But then all of a sudden, I hear 903, and I was like, what? I looked up, and Miss Betsy's sitting there. She's jumping up and down. That was her personal best, and it's actually really heartwarming to see somebody catch their personal best and get that excited. It was cool.
Yeah, that is good and good for her, man. I mean, that's just great.
Yeah. I think she even won the highest big bass for lady anglers as well.
Yeah, she did. She sure did. Yeah. And I told Kevin when we were talking off there, they need to up the ante. They need to up the payout on that deal for them women a little bit.
Like $1,500.
Yeah, I'm just like, come on, man. If you're gonna have a women's division,
at least $5,000.
Thank you. Exactly. I'm gonna call Chris Bennett and ask him, hey, dude, y'all need to up the ante. Y'all got to pay out better on that deal. But anyway, them women deserve. Hey, they're fishing just as hard as the guys. And but anyway, all right, dude, man, Casey, we appreciate it. Hey, we thank you for taking time to come on with us and get great info. Good job, and looking forward to visit with you again one day when after your next win or whatever you got coming up. Maybe you'll do good in the championship coming up. And
maybe. I was getting worried. I was like, this is my first year in like 5 years not to be on the show, but Lord bless me.
We got you in. Good luck in the OO championship, Casey. Talk to you later, man.
All right. Thank y'all. Have a good day.
All right, Casey. Casey 8 checks barely. He did a great job, Kevin. He did a wonderful job of going over everything and telling us he did a great job breaking it down day by day. That was good. Good stuff. So, all right, we're going to take another quick break, recognize a few more of our sponsors. When we return, we've got lake level reports, upcoming tournaments, and we'll wrap up the Sealy. We'll go with the winners, the top 4 or 5 that actually weighed in and took home all the money. And we'll also give Bassmaster results, talk about the Sabine River, how that turned out. And but anyway, we'll come right back. You're watching Tackle Talk Live.
The Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency taking care of Texans' insurance needs for over 25 years, offering auto, homeowners, boat, RV, life, health, and commercial insurance. Owner Clark Moore is a local fishing guide and tournament angler who understands your insurance needs and wants to be your go-to guide for all your insurance needs. For a free quote, give him a call and see why so many Texans trust the Lake Insurance Agency. 2 locations to serve you in both Nacogdoches and Bravos, Texas. Or give him a call at 936-205-4467. The next time you're headed for Toledo Bend or Sam Rayburn, stop by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle. They have an awesome supply of everything you'll need to catch the big ones. Whether your trip calls for bass fishing, white perch tackle, catfish bait, or the ultimate fighting shiners, Keith's Tackle has you covered. Keith and former Elite Series pro Ben Matsubu also have the latest information on what, how, and where you need to be fishing on Sam Rayburn or the Bend. So for all your tackle needs, check out Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, located just off Highway 21 on the Texas side of Toledo Bend, or call 409-625-0181. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Welcome back to our final segment of today's Tackle Talk Live. This segment presented by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, the Lakes Insurance of Nacogdoches, Toledo Health Clinic, Cypress Knee Outdoors, Shimano, Power Implements Marine, and Toledo Bend Bass Series, Kevin.
Yes, Steve, Toledo Bend Bass Series. They got their next tournament coming up May 31st. I believe, let's see here, May 31st, south of the bridge. So yeah, that one will be south of the bridge. Guys, this is a no live scope, no pros, no guides, tournament series, Toledo Bend only, north versus south, $180 entry fee, 100% trailering. So basically, if the tournament is north of the bridge, that is north of Pendleton Bridge and up. South of the bridge, of course, is south of Pendleton Bridge. That is off limits that week, but that does not mean you can't fish Toledo Bend. If the lake is a north Toledo Bend tournament that weekend, you can still fish south of the bridge that weekend and just fish if you're staying at the lake. That's one thing I love about this tournament. Check it out. Check all the information out, ToledoBendBassSeries.com.
Okay, real quick, we've got the Big Bass Splash. We'll go over the final results of this event. First place was Stephen Cannon from Pineland, Texas. He had a 10.80.
Steve, one quick thing on him. I heard, and this is a story coming straight from Celia's, he has fished that tournament for 30 plus years.
Wow, really?
Won it. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Congratulations, Steve. Good job, man. Second place, Caden Elkins from Robeline, Louisiana, right down the road from here at Natchitoches. He had a 10.57. Donnie Boudreau from Leesville had a 10.49 for third. Calvin Tarver was fourth with Florine, Louisiana, for 10.44. And fifth place was Samuel Antilla, Montgomery, Louisiana, came in with a 9.53. And as we've already stated, the ladies division, Betsy Merritt, Travis's better half, Travis Merritt's wife, from Annie, she had a 9.03. Caitlin Campbell from Converse, Louisiana, had an 8.01. And Dan Lee Lofton from Little Rock, Arkansas, she finished third in the ladies division with a 6.44. And so congratulations to all you guys. Good job. And next event, I guess, is going to be Lake Fork. I believe that's in September. And we'll keep you up to date as that gets closer. We'll do a little preview of that. And Kevin, I did a little math here, and I think a 475, basically a 4 3/4 pound fish is what it took. That was been the average bass weighed in for this tournament, was a 471, 470.
Do you remember what that was compared to Rayburn?
No, I'll have to go back and look it up, and because I used to keep track of all that, and because I wanted to know.
I know we announced it on the Rayburn show, but no big deal there. Steve, shout out to Central Louisiana, man. Showed out for that Sealy. That's the first time in a long time outside of the gentleman that won it over in East Texas, which he's just right there at Hemp Hill, south of Hemp Hill. But man, South Louisiana showed out. Caden Elkins, second place right there, was a Northwestern State University fishing team at one point. Donnie Boudreaux, who I'm really good friends with. I've known him since I was real little back home in Leesville. Me and Donnie actually share the same birthday.
Oh, really?
Donnie caught his flipping grass with a
Hmm.
big jig, flipping grass. So that was a fun way to catch a 10-pounder.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
caught a 9 doing it, and it is unreal when you're doing it flipping
yeah.
grass.
Like trying to pull
Uh,
a boat anchor up, probably.
Oh man, yeah, it's that's a fun way to do it for sure. And but yeah, hats off to Central Louisiana for showing out and all of that because they brought home the winnings.
Yeah, they really did. And congratulations to all you guys that brought home checks in that event. Kevin, I don't know how much you got to watch, but the Bassmaster on Sabine River, I got to watch a little bit of it. Each day I watched some of it live, and boy, I tell you, 12 inchers were gold in this tournament as they won. Pat Schlapper, he ended up winning this thing. He had a total of 4-day total of 38 pounds, 12 ounces. Edged out Patrick Walters with 36.8. Third place was Kiyoa Fujita. He was third, the Japanese angler, with 36.8. Taco Ito, another Japanese angler, was fourth with 36.2. And one of these guys, I can't remember which one it was. I want to say it was Fujita, that Brandon Polinick, I think I heard a story that Brandon Polinick had taught him how to flip and pitch. And that's what he was doing in this event.
Oh, he was
And
doing it, but
yeah, he was doing it. And I think Brandon helped kind of get him started in that. I think he went to Japan, spent a little time in Japan. Brandon did in off season, and I think they got together, and he wanted to learn how to do that better. And I think Brandon was the guy. It's either him or Ito. One of those two was one of the ones that he worked with. And but anyway, it paid off for him in this event because
yeah, definitely did.
whichever one of them it was, they were top 5. So. But let's see here. Kyle Welcher, last year's AOY, he was 5th with 35.3. Cooper Gallant now, he led off and on in this event. He was 6th with 34.3. Stetson Blaylock had a good tournament. Stetson always fishes well here at this bay at the Sabine River. It just seems to fit his style a little bit. And he said it's kind of how he grew up. So he was 7th in this event with 31.9. David Mullins was 8th with 31.9 also. Let's see here. 9th was Justin Hamner. He had 30. He also had 31.9. Wow, that's unusual. 3 guys had the same exact weight in the end. John Cruz rounded out the top 10, and he had 30.0 or 30.6 pounds of fish. So again, finding clear water, Kev, seemed to be the key. Whoever could find the clean water and find groups of fish where the quality was a little bit better in one area than another, that seemed to pay off. And on the final day, the water closer to the boat ramp seemed to really clear up, and a lot of guys stayed fairly close on that final day. But it was good. You know, again, and Davey Height and them talked about it several times. This is old school tournament fishing, flipping, pitching, spinner bait, buzz bait, jig, worm. I mean, it was exactly how things used to be before forward facing sonar, but I don't think it played a role in this event at all. And
no, it definitely did not.
so, but anyway, congratulations to all those guys, and looking forward. I think now they get ready for their northern swing and head north from here. So, but anyhow, all right. Upcoming tournaments, Kev. What you got?
May 24th, the ABA Pro League Texas Division is on Lake of the Pines. Only thing really I know of going on this weekend, Steve. So all of you guys want to jump in that, you still got a little bit of time.
Yes.
May 31st, the Toledo Bend Bass Series South tournament will be coming up next weekend, along with Outlaw Team Series Championship on Sam Rayburn. Bass Champs is on Lake Tawakoni, and then the back-to-back ABA Louisiana Division on Red River.
Yes. So if you're looking for something to fish, now next week we got some championships going on. So that'll take a lot of anglers away, but there are some single stuff that's going on, especially the ABA, May 31st, June 1st. That's actually back to back. One of those is a makeup tournament for earlier in the Louisiana division. So if you want to fish that, and if you fish just one of these, whether you fish Lake of the Pines this weekend for the Texas division, if you'll fish this weekend coming up, there's 3 events. If you fish just one of those, and this weekend is the number 2 event, we already fished Rayburn. This is the second one. You will qualify for the 2-day championship on Pines in September. So it's the first weekend after Labor Day. So I think that's the 9th or 10th of September. That'll be the 2-day championship for the ABA Pro Texas Division Pro League. So if you want to fish that, all you got to do is fish this weekend and you're in. So, but anyway, otherwise you'll have to go to Lake Tyler and fish the third one, which is over just out between just this side of Palestine. And that's the only other way you'll be able to qualify for the 2-day event on Pines. I know there's a lot of Pines guys out there, Kevin. A lot of them love fishing Pines. And if you want to qualify for the 2-day deal on your own body of water, be there this weekend or fish Tyler in a month from now in June. So, but anyhow, lake levels, Kev, let's see here.
Now Toledo Bend's at 171.78, 172's pool. So that's a difference of minus 2.64 inches.
Low. Yeah.
10-day loss of 9.96 inches and a 24-hour loss of 0.24 inches.
Yeah, so they've obviously been pulling. Matter of fact, all the reports you're fixing to hear, they're pulling on all the lakes. The only lake that gained is Fork, and that's because of those storms that have been coming through North Texas in the last 3 or 4 days. That's actually on the rise at Fork, and I look for Lake of the Pines to maybe jump back up the other way. But anyway, Sam Rayburn is 165.6 right now. It's 1.2 feet above pool. 10-day loss of 0.72, 24-hour loss of 1.08. So they are pulling on Rayburn right now. Lake of the Pines, 231.1. It's up 2.1 feet above pool. When I was there last Thursday, Kev, I was over there and caught some quality fish. I had a good day. It was 3 feet above pool. So it's dropped a foot almost in a week. And so 10-day loss.
It's 24-hour loss of 22.52 inches. It's coming down.
Yeah, they're pulling on it hard. It's had a 10-day loss of 1.24 feet. So, and then Lake Fork, Kev, where's it at? Yeah.
403.35. Normal pool is 403. So a difference of 3.3 inches basically. 10-day loss, 0.72 inches. 24-hour gain is 0.12 inches.
Yeah. And so again, those thunderstorms that came through today, there's actually some that came through this early this morning in that region up there, Red River corridor. And again, people have asked me about the Red River tournament with ABA coming up at the end of the month. There's 2 back-to-back days. As of right now, it's a go because talking to the Lock and Dam guys, they're dropping it 2 foot for the next 2 weeks. It'll be dropping 2 feet each week. And so it'll be back down, not too far above pool once that tournament starts. Now, again, there are some storms that have been coming through the Red River corridor, Oklahoma, Texas line, and that's what feeds our Red River system. It may hold steady for a while. I don't think it's anything major going to like jump up again, but it could slow the process of the fall. So, but anyway, all right, real quick, tip of the week. One thing I saw some guys doing, Kevin, in the Sabine tournament, and it's that time of year, and you should probably do it all the time. Dipping your ruler in the water before you put your fish on it. A lot of guys just pull the ruler out, put the fish on it, and they're good. That water, that little bit of wetness on that board when you put that fish on there really helps that fish with the slime, keeps that fish healthy. That slime coat on there that helps protect them from disease. So, again, especially this time of year, rulers get really hot. Put them rulers in the water, cool them off real quick, wet them, and then put your fish on there. It's a little more extra work, but hey, it's worth it. It's a better way to take care of your fish. Kevin, Shimano product, you got anything?
Yes, Steve. Shimano, we just came out with the new Outlier rods, the Outlier series. I'll show you the cover there because I can't get everything on screen. It's a swim bait rod. They come in a couple different sizes, preferably like a 7.4 medium heavy. This rod, let's see if I can get a little bit of it here on screen. I haven't even got mine out of the package yet, Steve, but the Outlier series swim bait rod, guys, if you're looking for the next level swim bait rod, you need to check out the Shimano Outlier series. Just got my samples in, so I haven't played with it yet, but really looking forward to getting out and testing it some on Toledo Bend. But again, guys, if you're looking for that next level swim bait rod, you need to give the Outlier series a look.
There you go. Good advice right there. All right. Well, Kevin, you got anything else?
I think that does it for this week, Steve.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap this thing up. Thank you for tuning us in. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, however way you listen to a podcast, and spread the word. Please spread the word. We're trying to get our numbers up. We need to see our numbers go back up. If you would like to become a member of our sponsorship team, which we always welcome sponsorship, please message us on our Facebook page. Kevin will get a detailed packet out to you as soon as possible. For Kevin Jean, yours truly, Steve Graff, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week with more Tackle Talk Live.